let's talk about Justin Fields and a prediction that came from SportsIllustrated.com and an NFL analyst that I respect a ton and who has given plenty of quality predictions and thoughts throughout the years. But this one, man, this one we got to talk about. This one we got to dive into. Connor Orr of SportsIllustrated.com or SI.com, excuse me. I just gave my own employer's name wrong. Is that what it is? I couldn't even come up with the words. Came up with a prediction of what Justin Fields is looking at in the future. Are predicting the landing spots or the future of all of the upcoming free agent quarterbacks in 2025. This is what he says about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Quote, personally, I think Fields started to really come on as a passer. He was better in 2-minute situations and still has an excellent touch on the football. I think that with time, effort, and good coaching, he could round into a consistent top 12 player at the position. That would be massive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That said, he is very much a free agent at the end of the season and has what so many quarterbacks do not: incredible movement skills and the ability to accelerate an offense where the run and pass are intimately tied together. Way too early prediction. Fields will re-sign with the Steelers on a Baker Mayfield style 3-year deal at the end of the season. 3 years, $100 million, I believe $45 million guaranteed, maybe $55 million guaranteed, is what Baker Mayfield signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the end of this past season. Justin Fields might not start a game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't get me wrong, in this sentence, when he says a top 12 quarterback, I mean, if the Steelers get a top 12 quarterback in the NFL, they are very happy about it. They are not upset whatsoever. And if you want to sign a top 12 quarterback to a $100 million deal, that is okay. You can go do that. 3 years, $100 million, $45, $55 million guaranteed for Justin Fields if he does not play a game this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just sounds wild to me. Is there any shot in your head where this becomes a thing and has any traction, any feet behind it to push it forward, and the Steelers are possibly thinking, yeah, we'll give him a Baker Mayfield style deal?
Yeah. No, there's a shot that this happens, but Russell Wilson has to decide, I kind of want to be a professional singer now instead, so I'm not going to play this season. And then Justin Fields has to go on to win the division, which is what Baker Mayfield did to earn a 3-year, $100 million contract. It's not like Baker Mayfield just started for the Bucs. He won the AFC South last year. He won a playoff game last year, and then he signed this contract. Unless you see that happening, I don't see Justin Fields signing a similar contract in Pittsburgh.
No, I don't know how we got from Jordan Love's style contract that was refuted. There were people saying there's no way the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to hand Justin Fields a Jordan Love cheap deal of anything over $4 million per season to a Baker Mayfield style $100 million deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wild, wild times. I don't see that happening at all. I don't even see it as a possibility. You look at Justin Fields, even if he earns the starting job in Pittsburgh this year, they are going to give him a 1-year prove-it deal. That is all they're going to hand Justin Fields. Maybe they'd hand him a 2-year just because they'd like to extend it a little bit and save themselves some money, and they can backload it to where that second year is on the cusp of a, $20 to $25 million per season. But that is completely backloaded. The first year is $4 million, $5 million, where you're coming in here with backup quarterback money to prove that you are a starter. You will have competition with somebody, and then a year after, you will earn actual starting quarterback money. But right now, heading into 2024, I see absolutely no shot. Even if he does pull off the starting job, the only way that Justin Fields signs a massive contract. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Have you ever found yourself scrolling on social media, maybe spending too much time on whatever platform you're addicted to and thinking, man, why am I feeling down? Why do I find myself not finding the joy that social media is supposed to give me? That's because comparison is the thief of joy, and it's easy to envy other people's lives. But therapy can help. It can help you focus on what you want instead of what other people have, so you can start living your best life. I'm somebody who's advocated for therapy for a long time. You constantly see me wearing the sweatshirt, going to therapy is cool. I've reaped the benefits for years, and I think everybody who's thinking about it should add that to their agenda as well, because in one way or another, it's very helpful. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/allsteelers today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/allsteelers. Is if we go into Latrobe on Wednesday, which chills saying that we're going into Latrobe on Wednesday, Justin Fields immediately takes off. He is the dude. You cannot stop him. There is no denying that he is the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the starter in week 1, and he leads the Steelers to one phenomenal season. If that's the case, yeah, I could see that happening. But at the same time, I got a hard time believing that there won't be 8 to 10 teams out there calling Justin Fields at the end of the season saying, we're about to hand you a boatload of money if you come play for us instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's going to be some competition. So I just don't see it happening. Would it be a good idea if you could sign him to a 3-year backloaded deal for $80 million and really backload those last 2 years? Yeah, that'd be great. But that first year is no more than $5 million. And I'd say almost nothing is guaranteed in that contract outside of that first $5 million. So that's where I stand. I don't know. We talked about it before. I don't see this as a real competition, and I see an even further jump from Justin Fields getting a Baker Mayfield style deal. Could happen. I think the problem here is people are not at practice watching Justin Fields. They don't actually know what's going on. They're just guessing at how good he could be without understanding how far he still has to come, which is important to the story, but it's where we stand. $33 million a year for Justin Fields. Yikes. That being said, I mean, 4 months ago, I was on the pay Justin Fields, you're the first year or the 5th year option, which is $25 million. So I did look like an idiot at the time, and maybe I'm backtracking a little bit as we stand today. Could you see a backloaded deal? Then we'll move on.
I could see something like that because that's more of a prove me deal. And that's more of a, hey, next year you're going to sign, you're going to get the opportunity next year. And then if you perform, you're going to get the back half of that contract, which is going to be heavily loaded towards paying him as that top 12 quarterback that we were discussing earlier is what he could potentially become. But again, going into this season, it's hard to picture them giving him any amount of money whenever he's going into the year as the backup and saying that he's going to get a massive deal after the season in which, as of right now, he's not expected to start. Maybe he'll get in a game, maybe he won't. But when you're saying maybe about his playing time, you're not going to say maybe, or you're not going to say anything definitive about his money and his paycheck going into next season.
Yes, I agree. It is a long ways away, but it will be talked about probably on a weekly basis. And there will be a lot. How long do you think we go into training camp before the Justin Fields should be the starter narrative of the national media? Not those there, because quite frankly, I haven't heard a single other beat reporter who has been at practice every single day say, and that is not the radio. Okay, let's be 100% clear here. This does not include the radio. Beat reporters say that Justin Fields should be the starter or is expected to be the starter. How long into training camp do you think until that fades in the national media, if it does?
When does Peter King visit? That's my first question. When does
He
Peter King visit?
He retired.
That's right. I forgot it. He retired.
Over.
So we're going to have until the first preseason game whenever Justin Fields inevitably balls out against number 2s and number 3s. And all of a sudden, everybody's going to say, man, Justin Fields, he looked really good, better than Russell Wilson did in that game. And we're going to start getting that narrative.
Yeah. It's going right up to week 1. It's going right up until the end of the season. Let's be honest. Until Russell Wilson can do everything perfect this year. Justin Fields' narrative will continue to be there, especially if the Steelers are boring, because that's just what they do, man. That's what the national media does. Crazy times, not going to happen. For anybody sitting around saying Justin Fields is getting paid, let's calm those expectations.